Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new Elder Scrolls Online video with me, Sherman. Today guys, I'm going to be talking about power leveling and ways to power level in the game. Now, one of the things I'm going to tell you right off the bat is, right now in the game we have a holiday event going on, and any holiday event in the game almost always garners a 200 or 100% more XP for that event. So any holiday event, that means the New Life Festival, the Halloween, I think there's one in Valentine's called the Jesters Festival, and then there's another event in the summertime. So there's 4 events throughout the year that give you 100% XP gain. Now this is a great time to power level characters. The reason why is because you can use that to your advantage. For example, I'm here at the holiday event, and it's probably going to be a little laggy in the video because there's a ton of people here, there always is. But the way you start the quest for this is you open up the crown store. In the crown store, there's a thing called holiday. Or, in some cases, there will be a thing that says quest starters. So if you click on this, you'll see a thing called New Life Festival. You activate this. This is going to give you the quest to get started on it. Once you start the quest, it's going to bring you here to Eastmarch. And it's right outside of Windhelm, where you start this holiday event. Once you do the first initial quest for the holiday event, you will get an item under your U inventory, which is under mementos. Now they come in different things, like the annual year-round event. They give you a cake. There's the Halloween whistle. There is I forget the other event item. And then, of course, there is the mead mug for this event. Now, I don't know if I have the mead mug. I'm looking. I'm pretty sure I do. I probably just bypassed it. Right here. Now, I can activate this. And you're going to see I get a little glow. When I go down here, you're going to see this right here, and it says for 2 hours I gain 100% more XP. I can use this at any time. So I have now 100% XP gain. Anywhere I go in the world, anything I do in the world, I will gain 100% XP. So this is why a lot of people wait for holiday events, is it's a good time to power level your character. Now I'm going to take you to a few areas in the game, actually 2, where you can power level your character. Now, the first one is a well-known area. It is called Skyreach. Now, this is an area that takes 2 people. You can do it by yourself. It's a long process if you do it by yourself, but it's better with 2 people. Usually a max character above CP 160 that's set for a lot of AoE damage, and then a second character who's new to the game or is a new build that somebody's working on. This is where you want to go. You want to go to this way shrine here in Craglorn. This is called the Skyreach area. Excuse all the icons from my Harvest maps. But we're going to go down here. We're going to go to what's called the Sky... it's basically the main place people use Skyreach to power level. And it is a very fast power level. You can power level here really fast if you have an experienced player that knows this thing. So this is it right here. This is the entrance. And you can go in here. You don't have to take the quest. And it's called the Skyreach Catacombs. Now, as you can see, it says it's a group-based thing. Now, a group in Skyreach, it can be 2 people. If the person's experienced and has knowledge of running this, they can run you through. Every time you run through it, you need to come out, disband your group, and put your group together, or you need to reset the difficulty in your dungeon finder, and it'll reset the instance of this content. Once you get this down to a set pattern, you can run this probably 30-40 times in a day and get maybe 35-40 levels out of it. It doesn't take long to level off of this because you're killing a ton of mobs. I'm going to go ahead and go inside and just show you guys what I mean by a ton of mobs. Now, my character, I know, doesn't look like they're set up for this, but trust me, this place is a joke when it comes to power leveling. And yes, I do power level people myself. Sometimes, if they're friends of mine and people I know, I will bring them here to help power level them if they're working on their 5th or 6th character. And it's an easy way to power level people. Like I said, this is one of the most used places, though. So here I am, I'm inside here. Now I'm not going to use any potions, I'm just going to use my rally buff. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rally, and then I'm going to go in here, I'm going to pull out my bow, I'm going to shoot this first guy. It's going to grab everything in that room. Then I'm going to run into this area, I'm going to shoot this guy. This is going to grab everyone in this area. Now I'm going to drop my endless hail, I'm going to drop my buff, and then I'm just going to kill things. I don't have my shield set up like I usually do. Okay, I died. But if I had my shield set up, I would actually survive this. I'm going to go ahead and redo it. I'm just going to go reset my skill real quick, so I have that skill active on my toolbar. Alright. Now I'm going to redo this. I'm going to grab this group of guys. Like I said, grab this group of guys. I'm going to run over here. I'm going to zoom my camera out. Drop this, drop this. I'm going to pop my shield, pop my other shield, and I'm just going to sit here and just basically keep my shield up, keep my dot, drop my Dawnbreaker, and that's all you do, is go in here, you kill things as fast as you can to get the enemies killed fast. Once you kill the enemies, that's what you do. You just come in here and you kill the enemies. And I gained about 1,500 or more XP just doing this, just killing those two groups of mobs. So there's a certain way you have to pull the mobs in each area, like I just showed you there. You have to know this place. So the best thing to do is to work through 2 sections at a time. So I would pull this section next, move into that next area, and pull the next section. And you do this all the way through this area. So you start here, you grab this room, you grab this hallway. Next you grab this area all the way into here, into this area. Then you go up here, you do this whole area. There's a boss up here though. Then you go in here, you do this whole area. And then there's a chest here thing that you can do, which can give you items, and it gives you a lot of XP if you do it. Next you go through this area to the stairs, clearing it, then move through this area. Now if you have a very skilled player, you can actually pull this whole area all the way up to here and do fine. And then pull this whole area, pull this whole area all the way to here and be fine. And then pull the rest of it all the way into here and be fine. It just depends on your group makeup or who's doing what. Sork is usually the best for this because they have a lot of AoE and ground target AoE, but it can be done with any class. I've done it with a Templar, I've done it with a DK, I've done it with a Sork, a Nightblade, a Warden. Usually I do it with my Ice Warden, if I do it on my Warden, because it's really easy. Usually magic is best for this. You can do it with a DPS, a stamina DPS, if you're using like Still Tornado and Endless Hail, using a lot of AoE type stuff. But that is one way to do power leveling. Now there are other ways you can power level in the game. One of them that I like to use for myself is I like to do what's called the main quest chain. And that means you make a new character, you start on the main quest, you pop your XP gain thing, and you just follow the main quest line of whatever area you might be in. Like for myself, I like to go to the very start of the game. I don't like to start in the starting area of Somerset or Morrowind. I like to go to the base game starting areas, do the hooded figure, get sent to the one thing, to play through the starter islands there, play through the whole first campaign or faction campaign, move into the silver campaign, the gold campaign. Usually by the time I'm done with gold, or not gold, but the starting one, the base game one, I'll be 45. And then all I have to do is do part of silver, and I'll be at 50. And it usually takes me about 3 days to do that in total gameplay. But that's if you have the time. If you don't have the time, Skyreach is better. Now I'm going to show you another way besides doing the main quest campaign, which is a very time-consuming way to level, but it also gives you a lot of skill points as you level, because it gives you the ability to play through each zone. So like for me, I usually play the Aldemary Dominion, so I'll start in Canarthy's Roost. And there's 2 Sky Shards here, and 4 skill points for completing this. Then you move into Ardon, and there's 12 or 13 Sky Shards, I forget, in this area, plus doing the delves, the public dungeons. I do all that stuff as I'm progressing through the main story. And then when I finish the campaign, I've earned about 25 skill points. So just completing those 2 areas all together, I get 25 skill points, plus the levels I'll gain. Usually by the time I'm done with this area, I'm in my low 20s. By the time I finish the next map, I'm in my mid to high 20s. Then when I complete this map, now it depends. If you're non-subscription and subscription, if you have a subscription, you will level faster than other people. But try to do these power levels during the holiday events, or if you have XP and XP scrolls and XP pots. Use those things as well. Now during the holiday events, you can use XP scrolls as well. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to use one of these as on top of what I already have, and you guys can see I have both showing up. So I get 150% more XP. So now the next area I'm going to show you is in Craglorn as well, and it's another place that you can power level, and it's this over here. It's called the Elenir, and it's a really good place to go power level. There's a lot of ads in here. You don't have to take the quest. You just go into this area and farm the mobs, and it's better to do it again with 2 people. Anytime you power level, it's good to do it with 2 people. Don't try it yourself. The best way to do it solo is to do the main quest chain. Now, if you want to know a guide to the main quest chain, the best way to do it is look up in the wikis or any of that type of information on the web for the campaign quests for Aldemary Dominion, or Daggerfall Covenant, or the Ebonheart Pact, or even the Morrowind, or Somerset quest chains for the main quests. If you can do those main quest chains, you can actually garner a lot of XP. Now, some other places that you can use to power level, there is an area outside of Sentinel here in, oh, I forget the name of the map now. Oh my god. It's yeah, Alakir Desert, that's right. So in Alakir Desert, outside of Sentinel, along this beach here, there's a lot of undead. This is a really good place to power level. It's not quite as good as the area back here in the Necropolis. This is another good area to power level. And it's zones that have high concentrations of mobs. Now, there is an area here in Molabator where you can, or not Molabator, but Grotwood, you can do it. And it's right in this area here called the Bone Orchard. This is another good place to power level. This area is another good place to power level. And that means what you do is you have a newbie player follow you around in that area while you grab all the mobs and kill them. And you do it in sections. And usually you can sit there and just clear packs of mobs and gain a lot of XP. So, now, another way I like to power level people is through public dungeons. I like to find an empty public dungeon with nobody in it and just farm it. Because if I'm farming gold from it, they're going to be able to get items and stuff from it as well that they can use to sell or also to use and equip while they power level. Now, doing Skyreach, you can't really do that unless you do the chest event thing to where you get the chest items. Then you can power level somebody in there pretty easily. Another thing I like to do if I'm power leveling somebody is get them to level 10 and start doing the Dungeon Finder leveling. And Dungeon Finder leveling is really easy. What you do is you get them to level 10, and then you go to specific dungeons, and you start with Fungal Grotto 1, and you just rerun Fungal Grotto 1 over and over and over again until they've they've earned an XP to move on to the next dungeons. Now, I do Fungal Grotto 1, Spindle Clutch 1, Banish Cells 1, repeat, because you get all 3 of these unlocked at level 10. Then when they move up in level, the higher level they get, I just keep moving them along. The other nice thing about doing it this way is they also earn Undaunted XP from completing the quests. So this is another way that you can power level people. It's not as fast as what I've shown you already, but it is pretty fast because if they complete the quest, they get a huge chunk of XP for completing that dungeon in the story with it. So it's a really nice way to build out people's experience with the content so they can learn it, but they can also see the growth of their character through it. So again, nice trade-off. And that pretty much brings me to the end of this, because there is a lot of different places or ways that you can power level somebody, or even yourself, depending on how you do it. The best way is always wait for holiday events. Holiday events will always garner you the best XP gain for power leveling. So if you're looking to power level, wait for holiday events. Now remember, there is 4 a year. There is the Halloween event, there is the New Life Festival, there is the Anniversary Festival, and then there is the Jesters Festival. Each of those events has ways for you to garner 100% XP gain, and it allows you to build XP really fast. Usually what I do is I do my dailies for the holiday event and then power level. Whether it be my own character or it be somebody else's character. So it's really up to you on how you want to power level your character, but those are the best ways. Now the fastest, easiest way to power level somebody is by doing the zone clears. And that is doing what I showed you guys the other way. If you have 2 people, you can power level in places like I showed you in Alakir Desert, at the beach here, at the necropolis here. You can even do it at the Hunding's Watch. This place is not as good as this area or this area, the beach, but they are good places. There is a good place amount of mobs. There's also one in Bankorai that you can use. Usually every zone has an area that you can power farm off of. In Bankorai, it's way down here, and it's called the Hall of Heroes. Hall of Heroes is a really good place to power level. It's not widely used by a lot of people, but it is one area, like I said. This area over here by Trollpick, there's this camp here called Jackdaw Cove. This is another area you can power level. You can even power level in places in Cyrodiil as well if you're a Cyrodiil player. Any of the towns, these places can be power leveled off of. It's not easy, but they can be power leveled off of. The other places are the delves in Cyrodiil. There's a lot of mobs in the delves, and you can just go from beginning to end, beginning to end, beginning to end, and just kind of go back and forth through it and just clear mobs. And it's another way you can power level somebody. Some of them have really good layouts where you can go in a circle and power level, but again, it's really up to the player on where they want to do it and what they want to, how they want to do it. So find what works best for you and utilize it. Now, Skyreach is probably second best for power leveling, and then third best is going to be questing, doing the main quest chain, and then the final one will be dungeons. And the reason I like doing dungeons is that way people get Undaunted as well, and usually you can max their Undaunted out by the time they hit 45, because they'll have done everything up to the Vaults of Madness. So it's a lot of quests, and it's a lot of XP. But that's pretty much it for my guide, guys, on how to power level people. I hope it helps. I hope you guys like it. If you do, please hit that like button. If you guys want to see more videos by me or other things by me, you can subscribe. Other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a wonderful day, and this guy might see you in game. Bye.